The female reproductive part of a flower is gynoecium. It consists of the receptive area stigma. The site through which the pollen tube germinates is known as the style, and the embryo sac is the actual area over where all the cells are present along with the egg cell and the fertilization occurs. So that area which contains the embryo sac itself is known as the ovary area. So these are all the different parts of a flower, and if we think about the entire ovary part containing the embryo sac, we must see the details of the cells. In this diagram, at the first labeling you can see is of a pollen grain. Pollen grain is the male part of a flower which later on develops into two male gametes. One pollen grain forms two male gametes as soon as it is received by the stigma. This is the embryo sac, the area which is represented here as ovary. That part, the entire embryo sac, is that globular area through into which the pollen tube has entered. We are just looking into its enlarged view. If you see the structure, you can see the chalazal end and the micropilar end are the two ends of the entire embryo sac which are labeled. Now, depends on the type of ovary. Sometimes we'll study the details about it later on, but right now just recapitulation of what you have studied in class 9. This entire cell consists of synergids, which are two cells which are known as helper cells which protect the egg cell. And you can see the egg cell will be the one, once it fuses with the one male gamete, it will form the zygote, whereas the polar nuclei, they are the ones which form the endosperm. And the antipodal cells which are present, these antipodal cells, they are just nutritive areas above the chalazal end. We see the presence of lot of nutritive tissue, and those nutritive tissue provide nourishment to the developing embryo, because the embryo is formed from the egg cell, the fusion of the egg cell and the male gamete. It is also important to remember that the polar nuclei is having three number of nucleus once it fuses with the male gamete, and that's why it forms the 3n condition and is known as the endosperm, which is generally utilized as a primary food for the developing embryo. This is all about the inside part over where egg and embryo sac is written, that part, and these are the ones which later on form the seeds and the new plant body. Now the next topic is about the types of gynoecium. There are generally various types of gynoecium which are possible, but we generally categorize them in three ways on the basis of position of ovary. The first category is of superior ovary, or we call it as a hypogynous condition. In a hypogynous flower, we see that the floral parts, the perianth and the stamens, they all are attached to the receptacle below the gynoecium. The ovary is superior in this case, and the organs of the remaining floral area, organs like the calyx, corolla, they all are present at the below, or they all are present beneath the ovary part, or beneath the ovary, beneath the ovary. So in this way, the ovary is superior to the floral parts, and that's why we call it as a superior ovary. Some of the examples of this type are China rose. We see the same in brinjal, mustard, tomato. Some of the example of hypogynous condition. Now perigynous condition is the in-between condition over where the presence of the floral parts is in between the ovary. Ovary is placed little superior, but it is halfway, it is not completely superior to the floral part. Some of the floral parts, they are found in between. A cup like appearance is visible in the receptacle containing the ovary, and this can be seen in case of rose. If you just remove the petals of the rose, you will see perigynous condition in the rose flower. Just it is a condition in which the floral parts, they are present in between the cup shaped ovary, half part of the cup shaped ovary, and that condition is known as perigynous condition. And that's why neither it is completely superior nor it is completely inferior, it is in between condition of hypogynous and epigynous condition. Whereas the epigynous condition, you can see the floral parts, they are present way too above the ovary. Ovary is present completely beneath the floral parts. So the sepals, petals, stamens, they all are attached to the top of the gynoecium, and here the ovary is inferior to all these floral parts. You can see this area, the below area, which over where embryo sac is visible, this is the place at which there is positioning of the ovary, and all the floral parts, they are present way ahead of the structure. So generally the thalamus in this case is hollow because it's a epigynous condition of the flower, and we see the flower showing this kind of epigynous condition um, in case of orchids, or sometimes we see it in uh, cucumber, or yes, apple, cucumber, orchids. These are some of the example of epigynous condition of a flower. Even sunflower also shows epigynous condition.